Welcome to the Retreat Leaders Podcast, the show for visionary coaches, healers, wellness pros, and small business owners who aren't just here to host another feel-good getaway, but to build a profitable, impactful retreat business. I'm your host, Shannon Jamal, retreat strategist, business mentor, and owner of a 46-acre retreat center. I've hosted over 100 retreats around the world, and I've made every mistake so you don't have to. Each week, we'll dive into the mindset, marketing, money, business, and mechanics behind sold-out, profitable retreats. Plus, hear from expert guests who are walking the talk. Whether you're planning your first retreat or scaling your 100th, you're in the right place. Welcome to the show. Hey guys, welcome back to the Retreat Leaders Podcast. I am so excited to be with you guys today. It's just me, and I want to talk about something that is driving me crazy. Yes, it is driving me literally crazy, and that is stop discounting your retreats. It literally drives me crazy, but you've got to stop discounting your retreats. And listen, I love a good deal as much as the next person. But when it comes to live experiences, discounting is one of the biggest ways retreat leaders sabotage their business, their confidence, and truthfully, this entire industry. Discounts might look like a quick fix to fill some spots, but the long term is fallout and brutal, honestly. So today we're going to dive into why discounting damages the retreat industry, what it signals to your audience, and what to offer instead that actually builds demand, trust, and of course, profitability. So let's get into it. Okay, let's first start with why discounting retreats is harmful. Here's the thing. A retreat is not a sweater at Target. Okay, you're not selling a clearance rack item. You are selling transformation, connection, community, and a live experience. This requires planning, risk, massive amount of emotional and physical energy. Let me say that last part again. A massive amount of emotional and physical energy. Okay, this is not a pair of shoes. Because look, I was looking for the best pair for my new On Cloud running shoes on Black Friday and Cyber Monday. That is not what you are doing. If you're listening to this, that's not what you are doing. Here's the biggest problems with discounting. First and foremost, you devalue the experience immediately, right? When you slash your price, you're telling people it wasn't worth the full price, or it's really not worth the full price. You're not confident that you can fill it, and they should just wait for a discount next time. Right? This conditions the audience to not pay full price, to look for the discounted experience, for it to feel like a discounted experience. It also, too, signals desperation. People don't want to join retreats because someone is panicking to fill spots. They want to join because the transformation is aligned. And desperation, desperate energy repels people. I'm also just going to say it, and you're not going to like this, and you're probably not going to like this whole damn podcast, today's episode. But the people that you are attracting that are looking for these discounts are very difficult guests. The ones who are bargain shopping, who are like, ooh, I'm going to, beat them up for their price. I want a cheaper experience. They're going to show up and they're going to nitpick, and they're going to be high demand. They're going to have disruptive energy almost 9 times out of 10. It's kind of like I offer scholarships for my retreats, right? And I love offering scholarships. I think it's so important to do that work. I really do. I feel like there are people out there who are just in a bind or just cannot financially afford to experience what I offer. I get it, right? I want to offer scholarships. I will always offer scholarships. Let me be very frank with you. The people who have showed up on my retreats who pay nothing or very little are the least grateful, typically. They're the ones that cause disruption. They're the ones that don't value the experience. They won't show up to things. They will bail out of things. They will disrupt the other guests by bailing out and just commentary. There's just all kinds of things that go with that. You may not like hearing that, but that is what happens, okay? And so keep that in mind when you're trying to think about how you can discount your retreat so that it can be quote unquote accessible, or so that anybody who is on a budget can show up. That's just something to think about. All right. The other thing is it trains the market in the worst way. So When retreat leaders discount, it literally lowers the perceived value across the whole industry. I see posts all the time. Attend my sacred and beautiful retreat for a massive discount. What? How beautiful and sacred and amazing can it be if it is so incredibly inexpensive? And not only that, but you're saying it's the last spot or the last 2 spots or whatever may be the case. What about those other people that paid full price, right? Okay, going on. So it lowers the perceived value across the whole industry. It makes retreats look like flexible commodities rather than premium experiences. Listen, I don't care if you're camping in the woods as part of your retreat experience. A live in-person experience is premium. You want to discount your online course? Man, knock yourself out. I do it all the time too. Do I? I do sometimes. But not a live in-person experience. That's a premium experience, okay? And again, it teaches consumers and guests and customers to wait until the last minute. I'm just going to wait. And maybe I don't need it, right? I'm just going to wait. So it just hurts every retreat leader out there when you discount your retreat. The next thing is your margins are already probably thin. If you're like most people in this industry, unfortunately, your margins are already thin. Then you have costs, venue costs, food costs, staff costs, payroll costs, activities, taxes, merchant fees, marketing costs, and your profit, which is ultimately what you give up when you discount your retreats, right? You're shaving it down, and discounts cut directly into your bottom line and your ability to continue doing this work that you love. It totally discounts your ability to have long-term impact, okay? Long-term. So this is why you don't discount live experiences. They're not products. They're containers. They hold transformation, safety, and community. You don't discount transformation. You don't discount healing. You don't discount growth. You don't discount the energy and the expertise and the experience that you're pouring into every second of your retreat, right? And by the way, if you're thinking, I don't work that hard on my retreats, I don't have that much to offer, I'm just gathering some friends and we're partying. Okay, well then this probably is not the podcast for you anyway, and none of this applies. But otherwise, this is a live container experience and you're pouring so much into it. They require high emotional labor, high skill, high planning, high responsibility, high personalization. When you discount, you minimize all of that. Think about it like this. You wouldn't walk into a therapist's office and ask for 30% off because your session's tomorrow, because the opening is tomorrow. You wouldn't ask a surgeon if you can get a Black Friday special on knee surgery. And by the way, if they do offer you a discount, I don't think I would be going there anyway. And that is my point with that previous commentary about who is showing up looking for a discount. So if you wouldn't do that to these professionals, and yeah, you might be thinking, well, Shannon, I don't have those massive degrees. I don't have all that other stuff that these therapists or doctors or professionals have. Bullshit. You may not have a degree. First of all, I do, but you may not. That doesn't matter. That doesn't discount your experience, your effort, the container, right? That's what we're talking about here. So don't do it to your retreats. Let's talk about what to do instead. Let me talk about what to do instead, okay? I'm not saying you don't incentivize, especially early signups, but I'm saying you do it strategically without devaluing the core price. So here's some other alternatives. First one, big fan, early bird bonuses, not discounts. So instead of lowering the price, you add even more value to the people who sign up early, okay? Those examples are like private one-to-one session, a bonus workshop, a welcome gift upgrade, a priority room selection, a free digital course or guide, a free massage, etc., so forth. You could go on and on and on. This builds demand without cutting your income and without devaluing your entire experience, okay? Second, pay in full perks, right? So not discounts, perks. Examples, they get early arrival, maybe that bonus massage, a high value goodie bag. They're getting rewarded for commitment, not conditioned to expect cheaper pricing. Another option just to throw out there, because some of the reasons why people discount is because they want to make it quote unquote accessible. By the way, accessible is different for everybody, but this is a big one. Extended payment plans could be your offering instead. So they don't need to cheapen the retreat experience. Maybe somebody just needs more time to pay for them. So payment plans will help you increase conversions, protect your revenue, and reduce that need for discounts, and everybody wins. Okay? Let's talk about why we discount. I just mentioned one of them, which is the whole thing about accessibility. But I struggle with that because what's accessible to one person is completely different to what's accessible to somebody else. For somebody, $500 to $1,000, that's it. That's their max. Somebody else, it could be $50,000, you guys. So accessibility, it depends. What's accessible? What are you trying to accomplish? And what's the value? And what's the experience? And what's the outcome? And what's the transformation? There's all sorts of other things. But what's really the problem, the real reason why people discount is fear. It's coming from fear. Fear of failure, fear of low signups, fear of not being good enough, fear of rejection. And I get it. Retreats are vulnerable. You're putting your soul, your heart, your experience, you're putting everything out on display. But listen, discounting won't fix your fear. It will actually feed it. You do not need to build confidence by shrinking your price. You build confidence by improving your messaging, your marketing, your clarity, like offering clarity versus confusion, building that confidence, which means doing it afraid, energy. That's the work. Mindset, like this is the work that you do, not slashing prices. That's not going to do it, right? And then what happens when you slash the price and people still don't sign up? Now you're really taking a blow, right? Mentally, spiritually, just everything about it just feels like a big blow. What you need instead is support, not discounts. You don't need discounting strategies. You need support, community, and guidance on marketing and profitability, which leads to this. The solution to struggling enrollment is better messaging, better positioning, better targeting, better audience warming up, better urgency, better digital presence. Have you read all of my stuff on AI, SEO, and AEO? That's so big right now, especially when it comes to visibility. But discounting is not the answer. It's not the answer. So please hear this. Stop discounting your retreats. Please stop. You are worth full price. Your experience is worth full price. The transformation you are creating is worth full price. Instead, offer bonuses, early bird value, payment plans, build anticipation, create community, but do not give away your power and your experience by slashing your price, please. And if you're wanting a deeper support on how you can do everything that I've talked about and not slash your price, join us at the Retreat Industry Forum. Seriously, we are teaching the exact blueprint to running transformational but profitable and sustainable retreats without discounting yourself or your work. And I hope to see you there. Thanks for tuning in to the Retreat Leaders Podcast. If you love this episode, please make sure to subscribe, leave a review, and share it with your retreat besties. Want more support? Grab free resources at theretreatleadersplaybook.com. Until next time, lead boldly, serve deeply, and retreat profitably.